good to see you back.
Thank you.
Yeah. You mind telling us what the last couple of weeks have been like for you, both emotionally and physically?
Yeah, it's been tough not being on the field. You know, we talk about it often. You don't get a ton of opportunities in this game to play, so anytime you miss time and miss being out there with the guys, it's tough.
You were down a long time after this hit. Can you share it all about how you were feeling and thinking at the time?
Yeah, just you know, frustrated that I had to come out of the game. Really, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
There's been a ton of concern expressed for you long term, too. Most prominently what Milt Stiegel said. How much do you think and talk about that with people around you?
Oh, health is an ongoing conversation, obviously. So, yeah, without being too inflammatory to address some of that stuff, I don't really, not really, I don't pay attention to stuff outside the building. I heard about that comment a couple days after from my wife. While I appreciate the concern, not just from Milt, but other people, it's not like we make rash decisions, in this building or with my family. There's nobody who cares more about me than my wife, obviously. My children, my mom would probably beg to differ, but yeah, there's nothing about playing the game and health, obviously, that is again made just in a vacuum. So.
Did it catch you off guard at all that there was such a basically everyone was weighing in on this hit and whether you should be playing again or not, and all that, did that kind of catch you off guard at all, just hearing all that?
Yeah, again, I didn't read any of the stuff. I don't watch the TSN stuff. I really don't. Again, from talking to some friends about that kind of stuff, again, I appreciate people's concerns. I have children. So, as a father, as a mother, you're watching something like that. If you're somebody who's followed the game for a long time, obviously, and you know who I am specifically, and you see me have to come out of games at times throughout my career, from a knee-jerk reaction standpoint, I can totally understand, again, people's concern with that. So, not upset at that at all, and I get it. While at the same time, talking about my livelihood and how I do. My life for my family is, it's not really other people's concern.
With that said, no one's sitting in a doctor's office with you or whatever specialist, knowing what you're asking, what they're telling you, and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So, in a way, is your history of head injuries has kind of been overblown by people? Do you think?
Again, I appreciate people's care and concern about it, but yeah, again, if I shouldn't be out here, then I wouldn't be out here.
Has your approach to injuries changed during the course of your pro career?
For sure. Yeah, for sure. I think you guys, as you get older, you understand the risks of different things, no matter what the injury might be, and what you can and can't play through, for sure. But as you get older, you get a little bit wiser. Yeah.
The new rule. What do you like or what do you don't like about where this league's going?
I was hoping we could talk about this.
Yeah? Good.
No, I'm just kidding. I've never really thought that deeply about it. I'm not nostalgic about the CFL, pre-2012, because it just wasn't on television,
right.
For us in the U.S. I understand fans and players and coaches alike that, that don't want things to change. On the other hand, if the task is to increase revenue and to get more eyeballs on the game, and I would imagine the people making those decisions have thought those things through.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think it's changing the CFL game that much, or really at all. I mean, obviously I think the biggest change would probably be you're not going to get as many returns on field goals.
Right.
So that's something that I'll miss and fans will miss. But there's still 12 players. The waggle, yard off the ball, the ratio didn't change. Those things to me are the CFL.
Yeah.
So the way that it was really amped up for 48 hours, like Darren wouldn't even tell me what was going on.
Yeah.
Signed like an NDA or something. I don't know. But I'm sure you all did too. I thought there was going to be some radical change, and to me, it wasn't that.
It wasn't.
No.
So getting rid of these goalposts as a quarterback, does that increase options, and is it going to
I
increase
guess,
scoring?
I guess we'll see how that plays out. I mean, there is probably a way to measure that and to probably track. And if they did the work, that'd be cool if they did the work, which they might have. But yeah, I don't think I've ever completed a touchdown like right here. So that would open that area of the field up, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. The one thing it'll change for sure is coming out. You know, I mean, for years, I think the last time I really remember a team working the field, if you're coming out of the end zone, was like Bo and Calgary back in like 14 and 15, and they would throw the ball through the goalpost and like try to throw go shots and stuff like that. So it might change that. But again, like, you know, talking to Osh a little bit about it or listening to him today, you got to see over 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, like how it's going to play out. And again, like I do think the 35-second play clock, like if you just look at it on a base level, I think it will help the game. I think it will help the flow of the game. I think it will help watching a game on TV. Like there's nothing worse than, in my opinion, this is my opinion, there's nothing worse than a 3rd and 2 and the team deciding if they're going to kick it or if they're going to sneak it, and a minute and 10 seconds runs off the clock.
Right.
You know, and then they blow it in. So to me, I think the 35-second will speed it up. But again, to other people's points, you still have to like kind of bear it out. You have to like track it and see if it's really going to help. So it's interesting. Yeah.
Taking the goalposts out, does it remove a weapon that you can use when you're going in?
We've always talked about that. I think that the best I've ever seen at that was Andy Fan too. So I'm sure he's going to be sad to not see that there. I've seen Andy run people through that goalpost quite a few times. So he'll be disappointed. Yeah.
10 yards less of fields. I mean, more touchdowns automatically?
I don't know. That's something they said too, right?
It did, yeah.
It'll be interesting. I think, you know, we talk about field position starting point, right? So when you start inside the 20-yard line, for instance, arbitrarily,
Your own?
you know, your score percentage goes down.
Yep.
So if you eliminate 5 extra yards, does it go up? I don't know, 10 extra yards, whatever it is. I will miss the 55 as well. I like the 55 at the CFL. So that'll be different. But yeah, it's all interesting. Yeah, I had no idea that this kind of stuff was coming down the pipe.
No,
So
nobody did.
it's been interesting to, you know, read about and hear people's opinions and stuff like that. So.
But if they mess with the 3 downs and the width of the field next, I mean, would you draw the line there?
Yeah, I understand that argument too. Like if this happens now, what's the next? I don't think you can cross that line ever. That's what, to me, the 3 down, 12 players, yard off the ball, the waggle, the ratio, like those things you can't.
Wide field. Big
The
field,
wide
too.
field, yeah. What is it, 65 yards? Something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, that's another thing. The rules. I feel like I learn something new every week, right? So, yeah. Yeah.
Just thoughts on the job that Chris did at quarterback for you guys, and now being 7-7 with 4 games left.
Yeah, I mean, Chris is the ultimate leader. I thought he did a great job of running the show. Happy to have won a game there and not really have to change too much of what we do offensively because he can do everything that I can do out there. So yeah, not really skipping a beat from the standpoint of getting in and out of the huddle, the meeting times and all that. I thought it was a good thing.
Are you able to play this week? Just where you at with that?
Yeah, we're gonna see.
Ever been part of a team that won with 3 completions?
Man, I think I completed 6 balls a couple years ago in Edmonton.
Did you?
Yeah, it was like 6 for 18. It was terrible.
And you
But it
won?
was like 200 yards. Yeah, we won. I think Dalton had like 180 of the yards. Yeah, it was a terrible game.
Like 3.
It was a terrible game to watch. Yeah. 3, no, but I mean, to me, it just what we needed to do on offense, we did what we needed to do. Obviously, and like we always talk about, the game morphs, right?
Yeah.
As you go in with one plan, and it might end up a different way, and you kind of got to adjust as you go. But the defense against a team like Ottawa, who throws the ball over the yard, gave up some yards there, especially some stuff at the end. But they did an outstanding job. I think you guys know how I feel about Drew and Tommy and the job they do there. So I thought they did a great job. And then Trey and the special teams, they just keep putting us in good spots. And he made a heck of a play there too. So
How'd you feel out there today?
I was just happy to be back out there.
Yeah.
Just fun. Love this game.
Uh,
Yeah. Thanks.